Okay, so I didn't take you through all that because that was boring. But basically I just got everything wrapped best I could. I left the top of the frame rails because those sit up against the body or close to the body, and it's just going to make it really hard to peel them out later. But the idea is everything's masked off now, so when I'm doing body work and stuff, it won't make a complete mess out of everything else, and I can just peel this stuff off when I'm done. And again, this is that rolled material that, it's typically used when they're shipping cars or whatever to keep the paint from getting chipped or dung up, but it works really nice for this sort of thing. So good masking material. So working on the exhaust here, I picked up this thing just to kind of clean up the pipes, polish them up a little bit. This has a Scotch-Brite pad on it right now, but it has like all kinds of different grits of material, and it works pretty good. And ultimately you just put the pipe either in the vise or whatever, and this wraps around the pipe and polishes it up pretty decent. So I've been going through and just cleaning up some of the welds and just getting the the heat marks off it. It works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I find it works best if I just clamp it in the vise and then I can freehand the pipe around it. So that's it was cheap. It was like $140, but it works really good. I also used it on the drive shaft because when I peeled the stickers off the drive shaft, I hit it with some paint prep to get the adhesive off from the stickers, and the paint came right off. So I stripped the drive shaft down, and with this, it worked really nice for that. Any type of round material, it wraps right around it, pulls in here, wraps right around the pipe, and gives you a nice finish. And, they've got all kinds of grits. I think it got up to 800 grit plus the Scotch-Brite pads. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm just going to keep plugging away at this exhaust. I've got 3 of the pieces done. I've got 1 more of these, and then I got the big X pipe to do. So I want to get those cleaned up, wrapped up with the plastic, so again they don't get covered with body filler and paint and dust and crap. So it'll just make my life a lot easier later to just unwrap all this stuff, and everything will be clean and tidy once the paint's all done. So yeah, just a little added protection there. So I'll bring you back. I might show you. I'll tell you what. I'll show you a little bit of this this little device here in action, so you kind of get a feel for how it works. Okay, so the first thing I do is I just hit it with some. I take my regular disc grinder and just knock down any high spots that might be coming about. Then I throw my 80 grit on, fire it up. So that just works out some of the heavier stuff. Then I throw on some 180. And again, that just takes it down a little better. Yeah, get it out here so you can see it. A little better each time. And now I'll just throw on the 3M disc, 3M belt. So overall, I think this tool is definitely worth it. Works pretty decent. Still got some heavier gouges I need to work out on this piece, but you get the idea. You know, cleans up the welds pretty decent. It's not horrible. So there it is. Okay, exhaust is all in, cleaned up, clamped on. Yeah, I think I'm ready to set the body on. The only thing I got left to do is cut a hole in the floor for the shifter, and the body should go right on. So, it's all masked off. Everything is, you know, as good as I can get it and still move it around. And the plan, again, is to, the reason I'm doing all this is to keep it from getting all covered with dust and, you know, body dust and grindings and all that stuff. This is all nice and clean. I'd like to keep it that way, and I know it seems like a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's probably going to save time so I don't have to jump under there and try to clean the frame rails after it's all painted and put back together. So that's what I'm going to do next. Let's get the body ready. Put this down on the cribbing here. Roll it out of the way. Then put the body on the lift. Put the frame back under it and lower it on. See how we do. All right, getting ready to lower the body back onto the frame. Now, before all you keyboard warriors freak out, I know, I got the extensions in the front and nothing in the back. Shoot me. Idea is I want to lower the back down first because I find I can't, with it up on these cribbing, with the frame on the cribbing, I can't really jack up the back first. So I like to get the rear shackles bolted in first. So I throw this bolt in, and then as I look, get that lined up side to side, and when I get that pivot point and I just lower the rest of the body down on, it kind of just pivots down on, and it tends to line up really nice that way. So that's my goal. Gonna lower that back down in a little bit, and we'll see what we get. It hasn't been on the body with the exhaust yet, although I don't see any issues there, or the drive shaft. So let's see what happens. I did cut a hole for the shifter. Got the old 4-inch hole saw out. You can see it up there. Should go right over that if everything is right with the universe today. We'll see. But like I said, everything's ready to go. I'm going to have my wife come up, give me a hand, just get this. She can run the down lever on the old lift while I deal with the rest of this. So anyway, that's my plan. Bam, back on the frame. Everything came out pretty good. I think I'm off like a 1/4 inch on my shifter hole. Got to offset that a little bit, and I think I got one too many shim underneath it because it's a little higher than it was, so I'll back that down a bit. So that all looks good. Then I've got had a little trouble with one of the rear shackle bolts, but fought me a little bit getting lined up right, going through the second half of the bracket. So now, I guess it's time to slap the front end on this thing, see how that all looks. That's all brand new, haven't touched it yet, except for the core support, which I have an original. So I will go dig that out first, get that in place, and then see what we got to do.